In the colossal spread of the universe, humankind has consistently tried to push the limits of investigation to reveal the secrets concealed inside the profundities of the universe for more than 40 years. One rocket has epitomized the hungry interest and tireless quest for information. Explorer 2, however, as of late, Explorer 2 has made a disclosure so serious that it is presently turned around, constrained by a force past our mindfulness. What could this revelation be, and what makes it happen? Uncover about the insider facts of the universe. Go along with us on this excursion past the edge of the universe as we unwind the secrets of Explorer 2's new, frightening revelation in a critical snapshot of human exertion in the midst of the setting of 1965. The universe saw the introduction of a remarkable section in space investigation. Driving the charge was Gary Flandreau, an illuminator among NASA's unit of Splendid Psyche Station at the Fly Impetus Research Facility. FL Landreau's undertaking was, however, perilous, as it seemed to be new to put together the direction of a shuttle bound for the far-off compasses of our planetary group, where the gas monsters, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, stood as enticing privileged insights standing by to be divulged, outfitted with minimal more than a dependable pencil and image of accuracy. Designing during a time before computerized strength, Flandreau left on his mission his cautious estimations and savvy perceptions before long drag organic product in the type of a disclosure that would reclassify the boundaries of room investigation. Digging into the archives of divine mechanics, Flandreau recognized a divine expressive dance set to unfurl in the late 1970s and mid-1980s. It was an uncommon arrangement of the gas Goliaths, a terrific heavenly movement inconspicuous for hundreds of years. This arrangement guaranteed a heavenly exhibition like the planets framing a great jewelry with Earth at its focus. Anyway, the meaning of this arrangement stretched out a long ways past its visual quality. It introduced an exceptional a chance for space apparatus crossing the nearby planet group as every monster circled in show. They made gravitational roadways a divine slingshot impact that could sling a rocket from planet to planet, travel time, and rationing valuable fuel. Flaws estimation not just uncovered the potential to abbreviate the excursion to Neptune, yet in addition uncovered a peculiarity known as gravity. Helps. This procedure includes using the gravitational draw of planets to slingshot a rocket, helping its speed and rationing fuel. The arrangement of planets that takes into consideration such proficient travel happens due to the explicit places of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. When they adjust in a specific setup, it makes a kind of divine parkway, significantly lessening travel time among Earth and Neptune. NASA's choice to hold onto this opportunity was confirmation of its spryness and
assurance notwithstanding grandiose.
Challenges. The send-off of Explorer 1 and Explorer 2 checked not just an achievement in space investigation, yet in addition a victory of human creativity and tirelessness. What's really momentous is the lifespan of the Explorer rocket. Planned in light of strength, they were outfitted with instruments skilled of getting through the cruel states of space for a really long time, regardless of being sent off. In the last part of the 1970s, their innovation keeps on working, but with some restrictions because of maturing equipment. As Explorer 1 and Explorer 2 proceed their venture through the universe, they've become envoys of humankind, conveying messages from Earth as brilliant records containing sounds and pictures addressing the variety of life on our planet. These records serve as a period case, a preview of humankind's aggregate personality, pausing to be found by any wise creatures they might experience in the immeasurability of space. Their central goal has far surpassed assumptions, giving significant bits of knowledge into the external compasses of our nearby planet group, and past each day they send back information that grows the comprehension of the universe, reaffirming the meaning of room. Investigation in disentangling the secrets of presence in spite of initially being made arrangements for just 4 years. The interstellar trailblazers set out on a significant excursion that extended far past its planned length. Sent off in 1977, the Explorer shuttle ended up being versatile, adventurers outperforming assumptions and revising the course readings of planetary science as they ventured through the profundities of room. Explorer 1 and Explorer 2, given mankind uncommon experiences into the external compasses of our planetary group. These valiant tests caught street-running close-up pictures of Jupiter's twirling storms, Saturn's grand rings, and the nitty-gritty scenes of their assorted moons, from the frigid waters of Enceladus to the volcanic ejections on Io. Every disclosure disclosed a dynamic and complex universe that tested the comprehension of planetary cycles. Explorer 2 in specific carved its name in the archives of space investigation by turning into the first shuttle to wander near Uranus. In 1986, its flyby uncovered a baffling ice Goliath encompassed by a climate of hydrogen, helium, and methane. Only 3 years later, Explorer 2 left a mark on the world by and by as it passed by Neptune, giving humankind with its very first close-up check out at the far-off blue planet and its strange moon. Triton, however, may be the most astounding part of Explorer's process lies in its perseverance. Notwithstanding going more than 14 billion miles from Earth, the space apparatus keeps on speaking with researchers, sending back important information about the interstellar medium it presently navigates. These notable space tests, suggestive in size of a one-of-a-kind Volkswagen Scarab, have outperformed all assumptions and keep on pushing the limits of human comprehension of the universe. The surprising excursion of the Explorer tests started with a trying gravitational help from Venus, a move up until recently never endeavored by any space apparatus. This choice displayed the imaginative soul of the mission setting. The explorers separated as evident trailblazers in the domain of room investigation. Exploring through the huge breadth of room was no simple accomplishment. The edge for blunder was inconceivably thin, with deviations estimated in simple several minutes. Featuring the precision required for such interstellar travel, it took various cautious endeavors to guarantee each part of the excursion was painstakingly arranged and executed as the tests set out on their journey towards Jupiter. They wandered 10 times farther from Earth than the closest planet, Mercury, their way driven them through the troublesome space rock belt, a locale of room loaded with endless divine bodies, each representing a potential danger to the mission's achievement. This excursion through the space rock belt was a subject of serious discussion and suspicion among researchers. Furthermore, engineers in the 1970s, as the specific thickness and organization of the belt were not completely perceived at that point. In spite of these vulnerabilities, the prior Trailblazer 10 and 11 tests pioneered a path through the probably thick space rock belt unblemished, demonstrating that such an excursion was for sure conceivable. This accomplishment not just exhibited the flexibility of the space apparatus, yet additionally made ready for the progressive Explorer missions. Anyway, the difficulties for the Explorer tests were a long way from being done. As they wandered further into the universe, they experienced different obstructions and secrets, each introducing new open doors for disclosure and development. With a simple 69 kilobytes of memory, scarcely enough to store a little picture record by the present norms, the Explorer rocket confronted a tremendous challenge as they left on their venture. Their memory limit was the same as a negligible portion of what the regular cell phone can hold, featuring the mind-blowing creative mind of the motor who planned them. These fearless pioneers depended exclusively on their installed insight to explore the enormous expanse of space, to place it into point of view. Envision graphing a course through a perpetual ocean with just a compass and the mind to direct you. That is the degree of illumination these space apparatus worked at before the period of distributed computing and high-velocity web. The information gathered by the instruments on board was put away on obsolete 8TRCK recording devices, the same sort of tapes grandparents may have used to pay attention to music in their vehicles. It's astounding to imagine that such obsolete innovation was capable for protecting the important logical disclosures made by the Explorer missions. Notwithstanding their restricted assets, the Explorer space apparatus spoke with Earth utilizing a transmitter that was about as strong as a fridge light. However, yet with the assistance of giant 12 feet wide dish radio wires, they figured out how to send, what's more, get signals across the enormous expanse of space. Envision being up to this point away from home that it assumes control north of 18 hours for a message to arrive at its objective. That is the truth of the signal sent by Explorer 2 as it wandered more profound into the universe. Each piece of information, each picture, each murmur from these far-off explorers needed to navigate inconceivable distances prior to coming to the excited ears of researchers back on Earth. As the explorers ventured further from Earth, they needed to fight with obstruction from every possible kind of human-made gadgets, radios blasting music, TV broadcasting shows, and the unremitting jabber of mobile phones. In spite of confronting various obstructions, the explorers have challenged the chances and proceed to shock cosmologists with anticipated disclosures. Their excursion through the interstellar void has not just revised our enormous playbook, however, has additionally changed how we might interpret the obscure domains of space that stretch out a long ways past our planetary group. One such secretive occasion is the cryptic or cloud, a heavenly social affair of comet-like elements held together by the gravitational pull of the sun, extending most of the way towards the closest star. It stays afar off and in a mooring domain. The explorers are gradually, however, consistently advancing towards this entrancing objective, wanting to open its mysteries and comprehend its part in forming the engineering of our sun-based framework. Anyway, the excursion through interstellar space, where the sunlight-based breeze peculiarities give way, offers a more open front for investigation. Here the heliopause marks the boundary between our planetary group and the huge breadth of interstellar space, flagging the start of unfamiliar domain. It's a district where the impact of our sun wanes and the vast power of the interstellar medium starts to at first stand up for itself. Appraisals of the heliopause distance were conflicting, with some recommending it to associate with 50 galactic units. This vulnerability provoked a flood in financing for the Explorer mission as researchers tried to reveal insight into this critical limit. Anyway, as the shuttle left from this milestone, researchers were astounded to see as no anticipated indications of interstellar travel. This startling disclosure has ignited extreme discussion and drove specialists to reevaluate the ongoing models of interstellar space travel and the elements of the heliosphere. In addition, the explorers have likewise given priceless information and the arrangement of the interstellar medium contribution experiences into the infinite climate past our nearby planet group. This information has reformed how we might interpret the universe and opened up new roads for investigation and disclosure as the explorers proceed their venture into the obscure profundities of room. They address humankind's voracious trinkets it and determined quest for information, pushing the limits of what they imagined and uncovering the secrets of the universe. One disclosure at a period one of the exceptionally expected signs researchers were anxiously anticipating to affirm our excursion into the unfamiliar domain of interstellar space was the abrupt flood in exceptionally fiery particles known as cosmic astronomical beams. These particles frequently start from cosmic explosion blasts and other calamitous enormous occasions travel at speeds approaching the speed of light. While these infinite beams represent a critical danger to space apparatus and, indeed, even human space explorers, the vast majority of the lower energy particles are actually redirected by the massive attractive safeguard produced by our sun's heliosphere. This safeguard fills in as a defensive boundary protecting our internal nearby planet group from the significant larger part of outside grandiose dangers. As the Explorer shuttle proceeded with its phenomenal journey into the interstellar medium, researchers were not just checking the expansion in cosmic enormous beams, however, additionally analyzing any modifications in the predominant attractive field. This attractive field is affected by the ionized gases pervading the interstellar space and the close-by stars. The assumption was that this attractive field direction would contrast from the attractive field inside our heliosphere. Notwithstanding these assumptions, the Explorer tests revealed no observable changes in the attractive field as they traveled further into interstellar space. This surprising perception confounded scientists and added to the insider facts encompassing the investigation past the limit of our planetary group. On August 25, 2012, Explorer 1 accomplished a notable achievement by puncturing through the heliopause, the external limit of the heliosphere, the monstrous air pocket of charged particles and attractive fields made by the sun as sun-oriented breeze. This advancement denoted the initial time a human-made object wandered into interstellar space past our sun-based framework. Explorer 1's excursion to the heliopause span a stunning distance of in excess of 14 billion miles from Earth, a demonstration of human resourcefulness and the exceptional capacities of room investigation, innovation. As it wandered into this unfamiliar region, Explorer 1 proceeded to communicate significant information back to Earth, giving experiences into the circumstances at the external ranges of our vast neighborhood. Researchers anxiously anticipated the appearance of Explorer 1's transmissions, expecting to acquire new information about the qualities of interstellar space. They expected to notice a normal expansion in plasma thickness, a proportion of the centralization of charged particles. As Explorer 1 wandered past the heliopause anyway, what frustrated them was the shortfall of any huge shift toward the surrounding attractive fields, which had been supposed to change as the space apparatus progressed from the impact of the sun's attractive field to that of the more extensive interstellar medium. Quick forward to November 2018 and Explorer 2, the twin rocket to Explorer 1, left on its thinking for even a moment to travel to the heliopause like its ancestor. Explorer 2 crossed huge distances and communicated important information back to Earth, enhancing how we might interpret the external limits of the so nearby planet group, regardless of the expectation and energy encompassing Explorer 2's landing in the heliopause. Researchers were indeed perplexed by the information it communicated. Like Explorer 1, Explorer 2 identified no tremendous changes in the direction of the attractive fields, testing existing hypotheses and leaving analysts wrestling with new inquiries regarding the elements of interstellar space. These notable missions by the Explorer rocket not just extended our insight into the universe, yet in addition highlighted the unfathomable potential outcomes of human investigation past the limits of our home planet, while none of the current models could make sense of this charming error. When Explorer 2 at long last arrived at its objective, the sun-oriented breeze, a ceaseless stream of charged particles produced by the sun, was viewed as at its most grounded. This startling perception implied that the limit of the heliosphere, known as the heliops, could expand a lot farther than recently assessed, conceivably past the 120 galactic units initially accepted as the Explorer tests wandered more profound into the unfamiliar region. Where the sun-oriented breeze meets the interstellar medium, they uncovered a abundance of interesting information. Among the revelations were unobtrusive yet huge, limited scope changes happening close the heliopause. These varieties appear to be affected by the unpredictable cooperations between the heliosphere and the encompassing interstellar climate, revealing insight into the unique idea of this limit locale. Regardless of the complicated changes saw on a more modest scale, the Explorer tests distinguished shockingly little variety in the attractive field at huge distances. This disclosure perplexed researchers, raising inquiries regarding the space apparatus' possible takeoff from the tempestuous limit areas. Would they ultimately break, liberated from the grip of the heliosphere, and experience the valid, attractive field of interstellar space? Banter among specialists increased as some estimated that the Explorer tests may still be inside the heliosphere, while others highlighted unquestionable proof, proposing their excursion into interstellar space. This proof remembered a prominent increment for the discovery of cosmic inestimable beams and plasma thickness, showing a progress into another astronomical domain past the impact of the sun settling. This strange riddle encompassing the heliosphere is like unraveling the complicated elements of a goldfish bowl, according to the viewpoint of the fish inside. To acquire an extensive comprehension, researchers perceive the need of sending an interstellar test fit for giving a significant outside point of view on this intriguing limit district. In the midst of the fast advancement of innovation, the Explorers stand as exceptional relics of room investigation history, created with resourcefulness and prescience. These interstellar trailblazers are pushed by a extraordinary mix of classic designing and ageless development, wandering into the universe with hardware tracing all the way back to the 1970s. The Explorers have a certain beguile that enthralls the creative mind. Their strong casings house instruments, created with accuracy, every part fastidiously intended to get through the afflictions of room travel for quite a long time. Notwithstanding the progression of time, these instruments keep on working with astounding productivity. The power source of the Explorers is similarly captivating, using the intensity produced from the radioactive rot of plutonium. These space apparatus convert nuclear power into electrical power, an accomplishment of designing that has supported their missions for north of 50 years. This flighty power supply has empowered the Explorers to venture a long ways past the spans of our